out to be a standard hospital item is silver bandages.
Okay. You know the company Nikon? Nikon, they do
No,
that?
no, 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 no.
It's something
Nikon is
It's
massive.
magnetic.
Oh, it's magnet.
That's
Okay,
not-
it's
They're
very
very
magnetic.
strong and they're horrible.
Okay.
No, 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 no.
Okay.
It is,
Okay, I just want to open up with this. Do you know about
Okay.
this man here in this
no,
book?
No.
He works on the work of a guy named Abilio in France in the 1965. This is a cardiac doctor, okay, and he was disbarred by the Collège des Médecins because he's curing with ear. This is what he does. He says that those are diapositives from Kodak, and Kodak are like Stradivarius, and they used to have a process of invention so precise that this hold the right pigment. And he says the waves and the color of the light is not what we should be looking at. He says we were looking at the pigment because the pigment holds information that gives the light the color. And he says in some he has a yellow, he has a blue, he has all signs. And he says
I know some people
okay,
who didn't.
and
I
he
know
says-
the people who
okay,
made this technology.
okay,
Okay.
and he's only waving like a filter to your ear, and your ear can detect the information that is
That's
transformed. And he says that he's taking not the pressure but the tension with the thumb instead of the pressure with the index, and he can verify the modulation of your body responding to his the way he treats people. And he says what he wants to do is reinitiate something to you, so you'll go back to your stem cells. And this is where we meet, because you were telling me this 2 minutes ago.
Okay.
And he says that in this guy is Jean Rat, but he's curing cancer and stuff like that. And he says, I'm not curing anything, you are curing yourself.
No, 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 no. It just,
Because he says the only thing I can do is like I'm a piano accord, and I will be according you. And he says that if I can detect whatever your body needs to reinitiate, he's going to do like it's a sketch and just wave the thing, and then your body has the intelligence of the body, which says it's supposed to live for 1,000 years.
It's now
And
you
if he-
understand that things a little bit more in depth now.
See,
No, I'll give you a hint.
I just
now.
want to- I just want to show you something here. It's he says here you have the regular ear, okay, and this is a fetus.
Yes,
it says
I know.
it's exactly
Well,
like this.
that was known.
Of course, it's
No,
known,
no,
but
no.
what he says.
I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying this. This goes back about 100 years in France. Okay?
Yes.
Noger, that's right. Noger, that's right.
Yeah. So what he says is that basically, since your ear can detect the information that is on the pigment
Well,
on the
you-
filter
you
of
skip.
Kodak, because it says Fuji is making some, but it's synthetic and it doesn't work. It
No,
takes
they have a
Kodak.
different technique. It's a different series of chemicals too.
Yeah. But it says Kodak is bankrupt, and now he has his own very old filter, and it just goes like this. And you can even put Andrew Michrowski. See, this is him. I told him what is Sepito. Those are glands of a frog, and then the shaman are smoking this, and then it's like LSD. So he says this, when I wave this and I go to the ear, it's meant that it's similar to LSD, and it does not kill your germinal cell, okay? But it will make you like an eye opener or awareness. But he says this is shamanism, and it's the astral body, and it's not that intelligent to do this. If you want to open up your third eye, you don't really need to do this. And if you do this, it's going to be only an experiment.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
so
with
you
the
see
silver,
here, this is the member pace.
Okay.
And he also mentioned Pribam, who's also a member pace. So
They fait Doppler, so he works in your field.
Tom is also a member pace.
Okay, so this is a very intelligent guy. He's 80 years old, and you know what? He used to be a surgeon cardiac, and he was disbarred by the Collège des Médecins because he wants to do this medicine, and they say it's a voodoo medicine, and it's not real.
not even-
But this is totally real.
No, it's just because they don't understand. Now, I'll tell you something that would make medical doctors change their mind. One of the biggest technologies to come in the next few years, like, this is like the huge business, okay, billions and billions of dollars, is the use of materials that behave like living things.
Yes.
And that's based on graphene.
Graphene?
Yeah, it's like, when you use it.
Graphic? Yeah,
The pencil?
the pencil are made of graph.
Yeah, well, that graphene, graphite.
Yeah, graphite is like,
Yeah, well, graphene can be made, graphite can be made into longer atoms,
yes.
and it can be flexible. So, like, probably like 10 years from now, when you go to, people want an ECG
Yeah.
Instead of plugging and boom, boom, you know,
Yeah.
and then watching, etc.
Yeah.
You would just be given a nice little vest.
And the vest is going to be
You will
interacting
not have
with you.
3 points. You will have many more. So even by an iPod like you have, whatever,
Yeah.
10,000 miles away, people will know exactly what your heart looks like and what's doing in real time.
Because the information is
Yeah,
transferred.
the transfer will be transferred to the clock,
Yeah.
and the clock itself will be transmitting wireless to anyone who anything.
What that information? Yeah.
Now but that has many other implications too. You know,
Yeah.
it's like people will be able to know even which part of the house you're sitting at, and there
Yeah.
could be some crazy policeman down the
Yeah,
road.
yeah.
You know.
And if you have diaper, then they can say you're a Democrat, and then we'll call you or not. Like
That's
you told
right.
me.
Yeah. Okay.
I understand.
How about the silver? You were saying with the how do you do that? Let's see. You
Oh
have
no!
something
They
on your
took-
They
schedule.
took this man. His name was Becker. He was nominated twice for the Nobel Prize.
Yeah.
Robert Becker, Becker, and Robert Becker, it took him with some very good manufacturer 6 years to develop the perfect type of material and the proper size of silver, and to put them together. And that's what the bandage is. These are they're silver bandages. Now, silver bandages will be able to, let's say you had a problem there, and you put it on, and that should be able to heal it.
Okay.
But if you
Definitely.
take a piece of silver, pure silver, it would not do it.
No. I have another question for you. Do you know about the work of
Maybe yes, maybe not. Remember, we want something that's going to be always good for anybody,
Yeah.
no matter what, it's
Yeah.
a surprise.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like you're in the St. John's ambulance, and you should have a little petty troops, you know.
Okay.
You want to make sure everything you do is perfect. You know?
How about the work of Kesh? You know Kesh, the guy in Italy. You know Kesh Foundation.
No, Kesh, he's not Italy.
He's a good guy or bad
Iran.
guy? Yeah, I know he's Iranian, but he has his offices is in Italy.
I do not know that.
Okay.
I really do not know what to think about him. I'm very surprised that they stay away from pace, and that is already a sign of something not right.
Okay, because you know he's saying that he's going to Mars with this module and stuff like that.
Oh,
and he has
yeah,
teletransporter and
And the people are, something also occurs there that there is an impetus to raise funds all the time.
yeah.
Many good things that I've seen did not require
A lot of money.
enough money. And I'll give you an example. You know, optical scanning.
Yeah.
That was something I found about like 20 years ago. Somebody came, I can do this. I can make anything people write, anything type, and I'll be able to put it in a computer and it will come out of the,
Optical.
And then went down, it was absolutely nonsense, But it was something the guy was able to do in his own little garage.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't work. It doesn't need
No,
a lot
but
of money.
now everything done it, everything we do, even the iPad is scanned. As a matter of fact, have you ever thought why, when we touch the pad, it works? Because our body is all the time sending information.
Yeah, of course. So if you try to throw love, it doesn't go. It's not working. You have to have your naked.
No. There are lots of things that do not need heat.
Yeah.
It's not the body heat.
No. But I say, if you put your glove, it's not gonna go. You have to remove your
Oh, I
glove
see.
in order to
Okay.
connect.
Okay.
Now, another thing,
That's
just to let you know.
because, that's also because our surface has lots of electrical charges and
Yes.
fields.
Yes. You know.
And the screens
Okay.
sense.
I'm gonna show you something that I filmed, which is sketch. It makes me think about what you talk about the field between two silver coins.
Well,
And the thing is this, is that they say they were able to produce gold by doing this. They put a gold ring, let's say here, and then they put two motors that revolves at very high space. And what the tendency to do is a bit the same thing with the silk and the tube. It says what it does is like condensating whatever is there and trying to reproduce it at another two anode cathode, two poles.
I do not know what to tell you about that.
And the guy takes, and then he says he's receiving like the flocons d'or. Flocon is like, the snow,
Yeah.
flocons,
Flakes.
and it's flakes of gold coming from the densification from the etheric world, whatever, of whatever you take. If you have something here and it's turning like that, it will take this and like at the very atomic level, trying to reproduce it here at two other. So you have like 2 pods here and 2 pods here, and you put something in the middle, and here you take with the Kleenex, and then you have like flakes of gold out of nowhere. I have that on a tape. I can show you this, and but it makes me think of two technology. The one of Reich of saying that we can connect and maintain a tube toward a certain region to create something, and the other one is the one with the 2 silver thing,
okay, well,
with the cancer thing.
Let's calm down for a minute.
Yes.
If we go back to Steiner and you're talking about cloudbuster, the term came out, etheric formative forces, okay? That means things or situations in the ether that are capable of creating form, okay? That's right. Now, when Steiner first dealt with this problem, this thing, the way he saw it was, why do trees go up?
Yeah.
What are they going towards? Okay? And as you know, with any trees, you have, what do I say, an attraction toward the up, where branching, more branching, that's fractal geometry.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's usually very coordinated unless there are certain other circumstances.
Yeah.
Like you notice some trees, especially like balsam trees, are an excellent example of that. Balsam tree does not know, almost never, how to be perfectly balanced. There's always a side in the tree that is lacking. Now, okay, anyway, so you have this fractalization going further up, but in so doing, there's always further down.
With the roots.
Which and there's another aspect. We live on a planet, as you know, it's rotating.
Yeah.
But the rotation is very different than what you normally we think. Rotation is such that it's actually like a cone.
Yeah.
It's a scissor action.
Yeah.
Where this is pointing to is somewhere even beyond our galaxy.
Yeah.
The relationship that our sun
There's an axe.
is not the sun.
There's an axe, and it's not the ring of the sun, so it's pointed towards something else.
And that's what
Very
makes
far.
that is what's making summer and winter and spring different, because we're looking somewhere in space that is different. Okay? Now, in that context, so you have plants that are growing, and flowering, at the same time going back to the roots of the earth, okay, going towards the center of the earth, and going towards somewhere else, and that is all connected to something that is not the sun,
Waving.
and it's nothing to do with the orbit.
It's a vortex. It's like
It's a vortex.
like Schauberger's vortex with water.
That's something that is not exactly the same.
No,
thing,
okay.
Now, so we have in this context a certain behavior, and this behavior is part of what we can call communicating with ether,
Yeah.
communicating with another dimension. As a matter of fact, what is the 4th dimension of the planet is this other thing. Otherwise, we'll be all 3-dimensional.
Yeah.
And there will be no life.
Yeah.
Life cannot exist without a 4th dimension. And that 4th dimension is the etheric formative force.
That's time we talked about.
Steiner,
Other people.
all over the place. But so when we're talking about even like, okay, when we're talking about even cloudbursts and so on, let's just say the orgone activity, you're relating yourself to this complexity of events that are not totally, that they're living, okay, basically. And they're random. Never one thing will be exactly the same in any particular time. Now, talking about shower weather, that is another phenomenon. I mean, it's part of it, but it doesn't need part of it. There is a different, when you have a spiral, okay, either this way or the other way, which is like storms, okay, you have cyclones.
The natural movement of water. When you open a tap, there's always
Yeah, well, that's Coriolis effect.
Des fois, ça crée this.
Will be depending which part of the planet
of the
you're on.
hemisphere, yes.
And also there will be a different behavior of the equator, okay? But, so this is, that's a Coriolis. That's something much more related to the planet. But so the simple fact that you have momentum, it's increasing or decreasing as it goes out, it's the momentum. Now what is momentum? Now, have you ever wondered when you're driving the car with some speed and you're going in a curve, you suddenly feel
You're turning like this, but it's going like that.
what is happening?
Wow.
What is happening is that we feel this. We feel we're touching something else.
Yeah.
Okay? This something else is another dimension. Or when you go up and down the elevator, you know, you're suddenly going, oh, you know.
Wow, when you're roller coaster.
We're going outside the dimension for a period of time. We literally are,
Side to side.
something, it is like literally something really pushing you.
Yeah.
Saying, don't go further, come on, stop it, you know?
Okay.
No,
So, are you hungry a bit?
So,
Because
when
now
we-
it's
when-
1:30. Are you hungry a bit? Because we can eat a bit and then we
Yeah,
can
that's
call our
fine,
friends.
okay.
That's why I took your chips away.
As you-
Okay, so let's go to sit and have dinner, and we'll have a lot of stuff to.
That's fascinating. Me, I can.
This is like a free energy motor by Kesh with coils that have been nano-coated. You know what is a
Yeah, that
nano-coating?
comes from the Africa, doesn't it?
Well, it's the guy
There was
Kesh.
somebody-
It's Kesh. No, it's Kesh that did that. It's a guy here based on Kesh work, and they put coils of copper and they put it in acid acetic, and then it creates like a sender at the top of the coil, and it's like free energy because it's like if you go outside the stratosphere.
What is happening? Is it moving or?
No,
what?
this thing is not moving. It's only that it
No, but
moves.
what is giving you the energy? Is it heat or?
Well, the thing is that those are coils that have been put into a certain acetic acid, and it creates like a coil, but it's all like this color, okay? And the surface is like sender. And the sender is like carbons that are free from electricity, and you can travel there much more rapid because it's like you have no
So
boundaries
what is
at the
there
surface
move-
of the curve. But this is not moving, but you can take a plug, you plug your fridge, and it's working. And this is generating without moving. It's generating energy by itself. It's like a battery. A battery is what? It's not moving, and then you have the differential anode cathode. You have chemicals, but this instead of being chemicals, it's something else.
It's like a
So it
photovoltaic
will
cell.
not really be.
Allô, Lionel?
It will not be really
Allô, Lionel?
free energy if you
Lionel?
have to give something to it like chemicals.
Lionel? Ok, c'est ça. Ben, c'est un petit peu plus long que prévu parce qu'il y a quelqu'un qui a son auto-batterie ne voulait pas partir. Fait que on va juste reporter ça d'à peu près une demi-heure. Là, il est 1h30. On mange, puis on va t'appeler à 2h, donc dans 30 minutes. C'est-tu bon? C'est bon parce que là, les gens, il y en a deux qui sont arrivés un petit peu plus tard. Là, fait que on va t'appeler à 2h dans une demi-heure. C'est bon? Merci, bye bye. Là, je vais appeler Yves pour voir qu'est-ce qui se passe avec lui parce qu'il était supposé venir.
J'ai dit, ça ne peut pas considérer énergie gratuite
Non.
s'il faut avoir de la chimie.
C'est ça.
C'est comme les piles, elles marchent, elles donnent quelque chose, mais au moment donné, elles n'en peuvent plus.
C'est ça.
Alors, donc, il y a l'effet.
You can go in English. I'm very fluent. Very fluent in English too. If you prefer English, go right ahead. I'm very fluent in English as well. It's your main language, English?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Well, would you prefer it?
It doesn't matter
No,
to me.
but you understand what I said.
Oh yes, really well.
So but the fact that can make them work, that may mean something else. You see, here's a basic phenomenon, and it applies to all frequencies. If you have two coils, transformers, okay? You know, a typical transformer. But wound counterwound, so one's like this, and the other one's like that. Okay? And you supply energy to them. And you take wires out of that, and at a certain moment, if you say what it is,
Allô, oui, est-ce que tu étais chez nous? Parce que là, on vous attendait.
so let's say I put 1 amp, 1 amp,
OK, ben,
they go, you know, transform, and make them
va
go
deux
together.
Deux
two
heures.
others, but they're not eating. They're not eating us together. puis-
I put a
Est-ce
clamp
que
in there.
c'est à toi, ça?
Oui, je vais l'enlever.
Il n'y a pas de montage in there. Pourtant, si je
Ils
pense
se cancellent, they cancel each other.
ça nous faut besoin. Ça veut dire qu'il n'y a plus l'électromagnétisme externe. On a annulé. Pourtant, vous mettez une lampe,
Tu veux que je
elle
mette
va s'allumer.
Yeah.
Mais la lampe va être noire. Une
Vous êtes dans
ampoule,
quoi, là? Une ampoule qui est
you
froide?
can make an incandescent, well, okay,
You talking about this?
there are two things I want to tell you. First of all, you cannot call this, in the full sense of the word, a pre-energy device, even if it makes the refrigerator work, because you still need acid, you need to add on the acid.
Well, when you had acid before, when you do this, you don't add anything and then it runs forever.
Well, it does.
Yes.
So that you
So
don't,
you have to have a preparation that you take coils of copper and then you put it into the acid and then they call this GANs. And when you do with the GANs, then all the copper becomes nano-coated, and the nano-coated is like a gray cinder at the top of the coil, and what it allows to have a transportation of electron, but without any tension, any inertia, okay? That it doesn't hit something that opposes it. So then by doing so, if you align a couple of coils together, like in the Tesla theory or something like that, when it's nano-coated, then you can use this, and this is creating like a force field of some sort that is tapped, and you can put like this a fridge and then it's working forever.
so what you're talking about
Est-ce qu'elle est souffrante ou est-ce qu'elle
is a phenomenon that fascinates Mr. Beard. You know what I'm talking about.
Bearded?
That's it.
No.
Oh, you don't?
Who's Mr. Burden?
Tom Beard.
No, I don't know. I don't know everything. I know a lot, but not everything.
No, but even Bernard was talking about Beard all the time.
Yeah, okay, but I know I'm a bird, but that's something else. Burden is what is burden?
No, Bearden.
Beard, yeah, Bearden. Okay.
Il est par exemple un Acadien de Louisiane.
Okay, Louisiane.
Alors, is that if you quote unquote don't certain materials,
Yes.
you are making them imperfect.
Okay.
Once there's something in nature that is not perfect, nature is forced to do something about it.
Yeah, to correct it, to retabulate the force field by osmosis.
So, and that's where you can collect things.
Yes. You collect the differential between the anode and the cathode.
Because nature is
it
always
goes
trying
to other neutral, of course.
No. And that's how batteries work, you see? Batteries work, well, this one is particular, okay, there are two sides, but normally we, you know.
Yes.
So, the fact is that because this has a different chemical level than this one, then it isn't because we all say, ah yes, there's something linking the two. And that's why we have electricity. What is happening is nature is so frustrated that this has more and the other one is less. It's like, I gotta put in the stuff. Now, if you can cheat nature, cheat. That's American way of thinking. Si vous pouvez forcer la nature de continuellement ajuster, vous aurez l'énergie gratuite. Alors, nous faisons la séparation de charge, ça c'est notre façon, parce que il y a une différence chimique. Au moment donné, la chimie, il y en a plus. C'est seulement pour ça. Et parce qu'il y a de moins en moins de différence, alors la nature a moins à donner. Mais si on réussit toujours à faire que ça continue, alors ça peut même, on peut même faire une pub comme ça mieux.
But they don't want this, they want us to have the best
No,
again and buy
I'm just saying,
another
I do not know how to do it, okay, but I'm just saying conceptually. If we could maybe put like acetic acid on these tubes, it would be dope in such a way, and you probably would not need all the stuff in here,
Yeah.
that if you have nature continue to give you power.
Alors moi, l'idée que j'ai dans la tête, aussi, c'est quoi quand on voit aussi le sternum, and you have un écarteur, you want to écarter, because you have to have the heart surgery, this is what they do, you have an écarteur, and then it split your thorax. But what happens is when you remove the machine, the thorax wants to go back together. So if you can tap into, by entering into the ether and say +1, -1 is 0, but you maintain the -1, +1, and then you collect the differential between the two of it. So then you will beneficiate of whatever you can, and you have unlimited energy, of course. So that's really interesting. So I think it's all
And an
related.
example of this is like Niagara Falls, okay, so you have Niagara River,
And Niagara Falls.
there is a potential
Yes.
height, and the water has to fall,
Yes.
and that's, now, if there was no difference, there would be
No falls.
no gravity to pull it down.
Okay, I have a question for you. A guy gave me this eau de quintain. You know that eau de quintain? It's pure water of the Labrador and of the coast, and that's 30 feet. It's the more nourishable, pure water that has the electron and the proton and everything in the water to nourish the cells. And the guy is telling me that if you have NaCl, you know, like salt, when it's combined, it never can be decombined, and the only way it could be decombined is if we have water, this salt going into the clouds and then into the source fresh water and going back to the sea, and by the action of the photosynthesis and the phytoplankton, then the solar activity will re-decombine the Na and the Cl. But when it's combined, if you put salt into water, you drink it, it's not available for the body because you have the anion and the cation, which are normally free in the seawater, but when it's combined and it becomes salt, then it's electrically neutral, and since it's combined, you cannot decombine. And what has to be good for the cell to nourish itself is when you have eau de quintain, water at 3 feet from above, is the best water in the world of Labrador, because all the phytoplankton and the krills and the whales feed over there, because it's very, very high in energy. And he says to me, see, he has this project, it's called Eau de Mer. And Quinton, okay, he's a guy, French guy, okay, and this is all the works that he does. And the guy has a video and stuff like that, but he gave me the basic, and the basic is in that water you have anion and cation, and those are the nourishment for the body. But when they are combined together, you cannot unlock this after.
T'es pas censé être ici, ce monsieur-là?
Oui, c'est ça, mais il y a eu quelque chose qui est disparu. He left me the CD and the work. And he says that this is very, very rejuvenating water, and it's very good. And some guys at Salt Lake City are taking fresh water with the Salt Lake City water, and they think that it makes something different, which is not, because when it's combined,
it does
not do the trick.
You're talking about the trace minerals concentrates. Awesome product. I can tell you this, my friend. It heals so many things inside the body. It may be better, but the concentrate is totally awesome.
Ça peut être très très bon. Ça c'est encore meilleur, parce que ça c'est l'eau pure avec l'effet du phytoplankton, la photosynthèse du soleil, qui redécompile ce qui a été dans l'eau de source, qui revient à la surface. Puis ça, ben, quand tu prends ça, ça va nourrir le corps totalement 100%. So we're gonna go for...
Quelle partie de Labrador c'est? Parce qu'on dit région de
Labrador.
Ou Labrador.
So no, but this is like in Labrador, but not in Labrador. It's like, let's say 5 kilometers off the coast of Labrador. This is where they take the water. I don't know exactly, but it's written there. You could read about this.
Because Quebec, like there's Newfoundland and Labrador.
Yeah.
I know that Quebec says that all.
It's all theirs, but it's part of Newfoundland, of course.
No, but I'm just wondering where they take it, because there are different there are different plankton and algae
Yes.
situations in that area. Like the best area really, if you're really looking for that, is Frobisher, what used to be called
Frobisher
Frobisher Bay.
Yeah, I know.
And it's so good that one of my colleagues
We'll go and have it now.
worked for the federal government, spent 3-4 years in the bay, and research on the algae that walked on. He was able to show that there is so much oil in the algae in Frobisher Bay that you could provide all the oil that Canada needs. And as soon as the government found out about it, they stopped the research because they wanted to come over.
Unfortunately, things like that happen all the time.
Well, this way.
Okay.
This is why we
But
gotta
it
be
would have been
careful.
if you didn't come to the game, people
Yeah,
would
yeah, yeah.
Bon, on mange.
be like billions of dollars. But it's true, it's the oh wow.
J'en avais déjà sorti, là.
Un jus de pomme?
Alors c'est la merveille de
Non, ok.
Non, il
deux
restait pas
femmes
de
ou une femme?
C'est ça que j'avais.
Oh,
Moi,
merci
j'ai
beaucoup.
rien fait. Moi c'est le dessert.
Alors, où voulez-vous que je m'assoie ici?
Non, au bout là. Le patriarche. Là.
Non,
J'ai
mais-
dit là, moi. C'est moi qui sers, je veux pas avoir
Oui.
personne dans mon
Elle
chemin.
a un couteau dans- She's got a knife in her hand, Michel. Oh,
Ah.
merci.
J'ai pas compris.
Can
Oh,
you
ok,
sit
je
here,
comprends.
please?
Ben, on va pas comment faire, hein?
Regarde,
Oh,
c'est correct,
Avec
c'est
plaisir,
correct.
avec plaisir.
Sure. Okay. Do you want of this drink, juice?
Non, non, non. Merci.
Moi je vais prendre ça. Ernest, que t'en veux?
Non, non, merci.
So we have 2 other persons coming in.
Moi, je vais aller au bout.
We have Yves Gagnon et Madeleine Dumont.
Oh,
Non, c'est bon, c'est bon.
Bob, please sit. So we have salad.
Ah oui, c'est plus facile comme ça.
Comme ça, je...
We have salad. We have quiche. We have quiche.
Michel, j'ai laissé le pot d'eau là-bas.
Oh, il reste 2 assiettes. Je vais aller les chercher.
Non,
Ah,
c'est
oui. Celui qui est au bout, il sert.
Oh, good.
Okay, here you are. Voilà.
Merci beaucoup.
Voilà.
Nice to be sitting next to you.
Yeah, it's nice to, I hope I'm not gonna catch your cold though.
No, no, I don't have a cold.
Oh, good.
No,
So, c'est ta femme qui a attrapé ton...
no, 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 something else.
No, okay, so it wasn't your fault, okay, you're...
So Andrew,
Yes?
so we're going to be calling this other guy, the Romanian guy, in about half an hour. Okay, he's in Romania right now. So for him it's like 9 o'clock in the evening.
Non, le jus,
We have
j'ai
7
fait
hours
le jus.
difference.
Ok, parfait.
Yes.
And so he has given to me about the 8 inventions, and he's going to make a brief description of that. You're going to be describing yours. We're going to have all this on tape, and if you want to talk about the brown gas or whatever,
No, it's-
or Dr. Lee or whatever. But the thing is this, as you know, Ilonka, that you made me in
Yeah.
contact with,